My sister stole my work, created fake accounts impersonating my company, and forced me to seek legal intervention. I, a 25-year-old man, have been treated differently my entire life. Growing up as a twin was not as idyllic as the charming Instagram images suggest. My sister was always the golden child, bright, charming, and effortlessly popular. I was the other one, the calm kid who liked computers over crowds. From childhood, the pattern was obvious. I received criticism while she received accolades. She was given opportunities while I was disregarded. Our parents never attempted to conceal their preference. For our 16th birthday, my sister received a car. I received a practical bus pass because you don't really go anywhere anyway. When we graduated from high school, she received a weekend trip to New York. I received a $50 gift card from Best Buy. College was my opportunity to forge my own path. While my sister attended our parents' alma mater, an arrangement that was completely sponsored and included an apartment, I attended a public institution with some scholarships and worked part-time to offset costs. My parents were unhelpful. They told me I should learn responsibility. Meanwhile, anytime my sister complained about a lack of funds, they sent her money via Venmo. Despite everything, I discovered my niche in college. I began freelance video editing for content providers and quickly established a strong client base. My parents never inquired about my work. They simply assumed I was messing around on the computer. When graduation neared, I knew not to expect much, but what transpired still shocked me. At our family supper to celebrate the conclusion of finals, my parents handed my sister an envelope. Inside was a confirmation for a 2-week luxury holiday at a beachside resort, including first-class airfare. It must have cost at least $15,000. Then they glanced at me, and nothing happened, just a congrats on finishing and a clap on the shoulder. When I asked if there was something for me, my father laughed. Your sister earned the vacation, Dean's List for 4 years, employment lined up at a friend's company. What have you done except for playing on your computer? My mother nodded in agreement. You should follow your sister's example instead of expecting handouts. My sister smirked smugly, already preparing an Instagram post from the beach. I nodded without arguing. What was the point? This was merely the latest proof of what I'd already known. 2 weeks later, they all departed for Hawaii. My parents decided to accompany my sister for the first week. I stayed behind, ostensibly to look for work, but in reality to carry out the plan I'd been quietly developing. See, those freelance gigs paid better than my parents expected. I had been living frugally and saving aggressively. Now was the time to reward myself. I had my eye on a slightly used Mustang GT at a nearby dealership, black with red trim, in excellent shape, and with only 12,000 miles. I had previously driven it twice before graduating. The day after they left, I went to the dealership, closed the deal, and drove my new vehicle home. I parked it directly in the driveway so it couldn't be missed when they returned from Hawaii. Their expressions were priceless. When my father saw it, he stopped in the middle of a sentence describing my sister's incredible snorkeling experience. What the hell is that? He insisted. My graduation present to myself, I explained gently. My mom's eyes widened. You can't afford that. I smiled and handed them a folder holding the receipt for my cash payment, as well as a statement of my freelancing profits for the last 2 years. It turns out that playing on my computer is a marketable skill, I said. I've been working with a few content creators. That hobby paid for my car, my apartment's security deposit, and still left me with funds. My sister went through the social media accounts that I mentioned. You edit for them? She inquired, her tone changing. My father seemed to be having problems processing it. Why didn't you tell us? You never asked. I stated plainly and honestly. You never seemed interested in my success, only my sister's. The following few days were unpleasant. My mother attempted to backpedal, claiming that they had always believed in me. My father was torn between being impressed by my earnings and irritated that I had shown them up. My sister became suddenly interested in my connections. I denied her appeal for assistance. Everything has already been provided to you. This is my thing. As I was leaving their house, my father mentioned that I should be cautious with showy things and that I should have invested the money instead. I hesitated at the doorway. Funny, you didn't give my sister that advice about her Hawaii trip. 3 months after the car incident, my parents had changed their strategy. My mother called on a regular basis, asking about my career. My father wanted to talk about investing strategies for my newfound income. Clearly, they learned I had resources they didn't know about. Meanwhile, my sister's position with my father's friend's company did not work out. Apparently, she wanted special treatment and had what her manager described as an attitude problem. She was let go after 2 months. This generated the ideal storm. My sister returned home, jobless and bitter. My parents were embarrassed in front of their friends, and I suddenly started getting calls asking if I had any connections that might help her. Maybe she could help you with your video thing, my mother said. She's very creative. I emphasized that my clients hire me for technical talents that take years to acquire. My sister has never expressed interest in digital media or editing. My father called the following day. Your sister is struggling. Would it kill you to throw her a bone? Remember how I couldn't afford textbooks sophomore year? I reminded him. You said it would help me develop character. Things got heated during a family meal when my sister showed me her newly formed digital media consultant page. I've been watching tutorials, she explained. I could definitely do what you do. I just need you to introduce me to a few clients. When I declined, she accused me of destroying her career due to jealousy. My parents supported her, saying I was being overly competitive. I explained that I had grown my clientele through hard effort and skill development, not family connections. As I was leaving, I overheard my mother suggest that they use their vacation fund to aid my sister financially. This was the same cash they couldn't touch when I needed assistance with college bills. It had been 6 months since the family dinner argument. I established some space, reduced interaction, and declined most family events. I concentrated on expanding my business. Instead, I secured a contract with a streaming platform to edit promotional content. The money was fantastic, and the work was hard yet satisfying. Then, unexpectedly, my sister texted me a screenshot. She had applied for a position at the same streaming site, using my name as a reference without asking me. When I called her about it, she replied, "But we're family, and I've been learning to edit by viewing your old projects." When I visited my parents' house, I discovered she had been browsing through my old hard drives containing client work that I had backed up years ago. This could break confidentiality agreements with my clients. My parents dismissed my concerns. She's just trying to learn, my mother explained. I took all of my professional materials from my childhood bedroom. When my mother questioned why, I told her that I didn't trust them to respect my boundaries. Later, I discovered that my sister had sent samples to possible employers. Samples that were essentially clips from my portfolio with minimal adjustments. That's stealing my work, I said. My father waved it off. I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding. I phoned the companies where my sister had applied and explained the situation. It was important to preserve my professional reputation. The final straw was when my sister set up social media sites with a nearly identical business name to mine, claiming years of expertise and using my client list. After speaking with a lawyer acquaintance, I issued her a formal cease and desist letter. The family was furious. My mother claimed I was pulling the family apart over computer videos. My father threatened to disown me if I did not retract the letter. I remained firm. This is not about family. This is about professional ethics. They ultimately realized I was not going to back down. My sister deleted the bogus accounts. We decided not to discuss career problems during family gatherings. Meanwhile, my streaming contract led to further opportunities. I moved from my flat to a small house with a home office and hired help to handle my rising clientele. My father texted, "Your mother and I have been thinking, perhaps we miscalculated your professional path. We'd like to talk about investing in your business venture." I have not yet responded. It's been about a year since my parents attempted to invest in my company. I didn't answer my father's investment text. Instead, I proceeded to develop my life autonomously. The business is booming, with a small workforce to help with the workload. My father's attorney sent me a business proposition around 2 months after they made the offer. They offered to pay $50,000 in exchange for 40% ownership of my company and decision-making authority. The idea even suggested creating a post for my sister as communications director with a salary similar to mine. I sent a polite but firm refusal through my attorney with the comment, "No thanks. I prefer to earn things for myself." My mother called shortly after, stating I had embarrassed my father by turning down his generous offer. Then she exposed their true motivations. "We're simply trying to ensure your sister's future. She's still fighting to find her way." They weren't interested in my business. They were looking for a solution to my sister's employment troubles by giving her a piece of what I had accomplished. The situation came to a head during Thanksgiving. During dinner, My father announced to the extended family. We're assisting our son here in turning his video business into a true family enterprise. My sister snapped when I told her I had declined the offer. You are simply being selfish. You know I need this opportunity. What you need to do, I said, is develop your own skills rather than attempting to capitalize on mine. Everyone here has seen you get handed opportunities your entire life, whereas I have worked for all I have. My grandmother surprised everyone when she spoke up. He's correct. You've always favored her, and it has done her no good. My uncle called me aside after supper. I have been seeing this dynamic for years, he said. Good on you for standing your ground. In the months since, communication has been limited. My sister relocated to another state for a fresh start, according to my grandmother. Last week, my father texted me a link to a news item about the streaming platform's success, along with the message, I always knew you had potential. I did not respond. Some relationships cannot be repaired with platitudes. I transformed my home office into a proper studio area. I'm seeing someone who recognizes my accomplishments rather than attempting to claim them. The twin who was never good enough has created a life that speaks for itself. Finally, that is the only validation that matters.